How about we start with Akuma? Akuma is a character, I mean, Akuma was top 3 in my tier list, right? People have said that he's the top character. Others have said he's at least top 2. People were actually mad at me putting him top 3. I'm underestimating the character because he's just top 3. Anyways, let's take a look at the patch notes, okay? So we're expecting nerfs for Akuma, right? Because he's a strong character. I mean, I've already said this is a flawed logic to apply because we have to consider V-shift and the meta changing, but we'll see. Crouching medium kick. Lengthen recovery time from 14 to 15 frames. Okay, this is good, so it's going to be easier to whiff punish, right? You can't just spam crouching medium kick. This is good. Change frame advantage on hit from +3 to +2. This is great because this is going to remove a really powerful tool that Akuma used to have. He used to be able to do like close-up crouching medium kick into light punch Tatsu, right? That is something he used to do. Akuma got nerfs, but nothing that changes his core gameplay. A lot of his hard matchups got nerfed, however. We'll see, we'll see. This is a big change, by the way. Crouching medium kick used to be a really powerful tool. It's still going to be powerful, but it's not going to be as good, from what I can tell. Change frame advantage on block from -1 to -2. Okay. Minor change, but I think this is a minor change, but yeah. Good. Okay, nerfed. Deserved nerfed for sure. Okay, crouching medium punch. Added a projectile invincible hurt box to the upper body. Okay, so this is one of the universal changes that they added to make it to make crouching medium punch a bad anti-air tool, okay? So this always reads weird, but every single time you read this message, projectile invincible hurt box, it means Capcom is specifically looking at this move and nerfing anti-air capabilities. Also, like, extended the throws hurt box backwards from the beginning of the move to the first frame of the attack. I'm always interested, why does it say hurt box backwards? Like behind the character? This, like, I've read this change multiple times now. It seems to be like some kind of universal change that apparently I don't really understand, but whatever. Okay. Okay. Heavy Shoryuken. Extend the hitbox forward. Okay. Reduce the knockback distance when the first and second hits land on an airborne opponent. So you actually get better Oki off of this. So this is a buff so far. Interesting. Better damage. So this is a buff, so he's getting something here. Eine Frage, die haben doch Anti-Air-Jab geändert, soll ja nicht mehr möglich sein. Wieso kann Dan wirklich jede Jump-In-Attacke von Bison mit einem Jab anti-airen? Das haben die nicht für jeden Move gemacht. Aber für die meisten. Sollte er übrigens nicht machen können, so einfach. Es ist deutlich schlechter geworden, das ist mir schon aufgefallen. So here's, like, the question was, just so you know, and this is a big question mark for me as well so far. I don't really know how much of an impact the changes to anti-air lights and mediums are gonna have. I know for a fact that I've already noticed yesterday when I was playing, anti-airing is a lot more difficult with normals that weren't designed to do that. So clearly Capcom has taken a more, like, the biggest step to remove anti-air jab from the game. So yeah, let's leave it at that. I think I need a little bit more experience to see exactly how this is gonna affect gameplay. But yeah. I saw someone else looking at the wording, Brian F, I think, and confirming when they say extend backwards, they mean reduced. Oh, they mean reduced. Oh, wait. So they reduced the hurt box. Oh, so you can't throw someone out of a medium punch that easily. This is something that actually happens somewhat frequently. If you're really far away and you throw out a normal, you can get grabbed out of it somewhat easily. So, yeah. Lion GG, good to see you. Good to see all of you guys. But I'm gonna be ignoring chat like a little bit more now, simply because I need to get through the patch notes as quickly as possible. I don't want another 50-minute video. Yeah, I don't want to have another 50-minute video for Ryu. or the one that I did for Ryu for other characters, right? I gotta ignore chat a little bit, just a little bit, okay? Okay, so normal / V-Trigger 2 EX Zanku Hadoken. This is red Hadoken, right? No, wait. It's EX. No. What is this? I don't know the moveset of Akuma, apparently. Oh, it's Air Hadoken. Okay. It's EX Air. Wait. Is that a nerf? If hit with an attack while stagnant, the projectile will now disappear. Oh, get wrecked! That's a big nerf. Like, one of the hardest moves in Street Fighter to deal with at the moment is definitely this move. And the fact that they're making the projectile disappear now so you can actually do something about it. Like, think about it this way. In the previous version, when I tried to... Like, I knew Akuma is going to jump. I knew the timing of the jump. And I knew Akuma is going to go for an EX Fireball in the air. So I was ready for that. So I jumped forward doing a heart kick. And I got clipped out of it. That's what happened previously. So I'm assuming this will not happen anymore. This is good. The move was way too powerful. Okay, changed landing recovery time on whiff or block from 4 frames to 9 frames. Oh, by the way, I still think this is a rumor. Like, I have to do a comment here. Like, I don't want to spend a lot of time on every single change, but this is something I have to address. The recovery time on a whiffed EX Fireball in the air of Akuma, I have never, since Akuma got released, I have not been able to punish this one single time. So I'm almost certain this is a joke. This, like, there were no 4 frames of recovery. I have never been able to punish this move. So Capcom is telling me right now, throughout this entire time, I could have punished it. I had a 4-frame window. I can tell you, this has to be nonsense. I have never been able to do that. It could be punished, but it was hella rare. It was never -4. TMB, I don't believe it. I don't believe this was ever -4. Like, I've tried so many things to get a consistent punish, and I've never, not a single time, been able to punish it. I don't believe this is -4. So now it's -9. So I'm guessing they're trying to say it's -5, right? Because it was 0 before, and now they added 5 frames of recovery. So it's -5. Okay. So now we can actually punish it. Good. Landing recovery time on hit remains unchanged. Okay, that's fair. The recovery happened in the air. Yeah, but, like, apparently not, because they're saying that you had 4 frames to punish him. Obviously, while he's in the air, you can punish him way more than 4 frames. But whatever. I don't buy this, Capcom. Please check what you're saying here. I genuinely believe this is a mistake, because landing frames are 4 frames in Street Fighter V. And so I think what they're trying to say here is, well, since 4 frames of recovery were there, I genuinely think this is a bug. I think this is a bug, because normally what happens, it's the same thing why trip guarding exists in Street Fighter. If you jump in Street Fighter and you don't press a button, you have landing frames. You have 4 frames of landing frames. But you can cancel all 4 of them into a block if you want to. Like, so if you're jumping empty jumps into a block, you will always be able to block. But if you press a button in the air, then you cannot cancel the landing frames into a block. So you have 4 frames where you're vulnerable. And I think Capcom is just assuming Akuma had those 4 frames landing recovery. But I'm 100% sure he could cancel them into a block every single time. So now they added 5 frames of recovery, extra recovery to that. Okay. Okay, what is this? Is this Demon Flip? I guess this is Demon Flip, right? Fix an issue where if the move was performed, or actually is that palm off of the Demon Flip? You guys tell me. I have no clue what this is. Demon Flip throw. Okay. So I got it right the first time. So why are you guys correcting me? So this is just a bug fix essentially. Okay, not very important. I'm probably gonna cut this entire segment where I'm not sure about this move. So this is a demon flip. Okay, so this is demon flip into throw, and they are just fixing a bug where sometimes you would fail the throw, and I've seen an interesting clip regarding that. So this is just a bug fix. Okay, moving on. V skill 1, increase the knockback distance on hit. Did he get Oki off of that before, or why would they do that? I'm assuming this is a nerf. Maybe it's a buff because you can red fireball after that. Okay, V-trigger fireballs. Change recovery time on landing. No, this is the air V-trigger fireball, right? Change recovery time on landing from the jumping value to a special value. Okay, so instead of 4 frames recovery, he has 5 frames, so he's a little bit more vulnerable. I like that because getting the landing frames, punishing those is not very easy. But wait a minute, does that mean that the recovery time is always like that? Which means even on hit and block, it's gonna be 5 frames. So he's gonna, so the frame data is gonna be different every single time he does that. Like if he's trying to combo off of an air fireball, he's gonna have 1 less frame every time. Is the side switch nerfed, Jimmy? What do you mean it's a side switch nerf? This is the air double fireball, right? I'm not being crazy here, right? Okay, V-trigger 1. Critical art, okay. Wait. Is that the demon? Is that demon? Adjust the blackout duration from the attack's 2nd frame to when the opponent can move. Okay, this is just a minor change. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much it. So, let's take a look at that. For the most part, he's got some interesting nerfs. Nothing game-breaking though. Like nothing that really breaks Akuma very much. Oh, this is why people told me this is it's the increased knockback distance on hit, the V skill. They're not talking about the palm, but the pretty much like every variation of the V skill, I guess, right? So yeah, and that's like the side switch nerf, right? Yeah, the launcher as well. So that's why this is the side switch nerf, right? This is the big one, right? So that's a big nerf right there. The rest are actually minor changes. I think EX Fireball is a big one because it was a fantastic tool to close out games, and now it has a lot more risk attached to it because it used to be safe. No, Capcom, it did not have 4 frames. Don't lie to me, Capcom. I want to look this up, by the way. I need to look this up. I need to see the technical reason why it was impossible to punish. But I don't buy what you're saying here, Capcom. Anyways, it's punishable now for sure. Shoryuken got buffed though. Heavy Shoryuken is actually better now. And the rest, minor changes. Crouching medium kick being nerfed is a big one. Crouching medium punch is not an anti-air anymore. So, yeah. Overall, good changes, good changes. We'll see. Like I'm honestly assuming Akuma is not gonna go anywhere with these changes. I don't think this is big enough for Akuma to become bad. The V-skill launcher got further knockback, so less damage on his side swap. He can still do it, however. Okay, so if he wants to, he can still do it, but he has to sacrifice damage for it. Wow. You know what's like really sad? This is like something that is standard for a lot of characters, where if you want to have a side switch, you have to sacrifice damage. And now this is like the nerf properties of Akuma. Akuma is probably still good though, but we don't know. By the way though, I'm almost 100% sure Ryu beats Akuma in this version, okay? Just so you know. These changes by themselves, like I know what Ryu is like now. And I know what Akuma is like with these changes. And the matchup used to be 5-5 in the previous version. Almost certainly Ryu beats Akuma now. So that's a big win for Ryu. Okay, next character. What do you guys want to see? Let's do the interesting one first. Like, let's do Seth. Let's do Seth. I have to see Seth. I have to see Seth. Like, before reading the changes, I have to tell you guys, Seth was one of the most fundamentally broken characters in this game. Like, he was just way too strong. If I don't see a change when it comes to axe kick, or some other ridiculous nerf to him, I'm gonna lose my mind here. Okay, so let's get ready. Okay. Health. Okay, so he loses health, which is actually a sign they're not changing his broken properties that much. Usually when you nerf the health of the character, you're doing that to preserve his broken properties. But he gets stunned easily now, like even more easily now, and he also doesn't have as much health, so interesting. Fourth throw, reduced grab range. Oh my god, this was necessary. Like, it was really difficult to react to Seth's walking up to you and grabbing you. Now this is finally a thing. Increased recovery time on hit by 3 frames. Oh, so he even gets... His grab range is worse, and he doesn't get to pressure you after any fourth throw. This is a big change. That's a massive nerf to him. Back throw also grab range reduced. Okay, crouching medium punch. Added a projectile. Right. So this is another change because crouching medium punch is not supposed to anti-air. Right. One of the universal changes. Right. Step shoot. I have no clue what step shoot is. The input window for canceling with a target combo now lasts 3 frames longer. That's a buff. I have no clue what that is, but that's forward medium punch. I don't know what that does, but I'm assuming it's not like that important. It's a buff though, which is interesting. Shoot slicer. What is that? I don't know what these words mean. Increased frame advantage on block from 21 frames to 24. Change frame advantage on block from -5 to -8. What is that? The follow-up of the target combo. Is that the target combo that you would normally cancel into V-trigger? So that's -8 now. Okay. That's a good nerf. Okay. Hazard blow. What is that? Extended forward to the box that triggers the opponent's block. The collision box. It's the collision box, Capcom. Extended... Wait, that's a buff for hazard blow then. Because you want to have as much freedom to move around as possible. Because then you can whiff punish stuff more easily. So now it's harder to whiff punish. That's a buff. Annihilate sword. No clue what that is. Reduce the hitbox in a downward direction. Increased landing recovery time on whiff by 4 frames. I'm assuming this is axe kick. Please tell me that's axe kick. An extended hurt box and thrown box. Oh yes. Get erect. Get erect. This is the one change that I'm interested in. We're done, guys. Okay, I'm happy. Let's move on to the next character. Okay, so now you're gonna have more time to react to it. And on whiff, people used to tell me on whiff I can easily punish it with Tatsu, which was nonsense. Now that you're getting 4 frames of extra time, potentially this is now possible. Like, for sure, you can punish with a lot more stuff. Sweep is probably going to be a prime punish tool for Ryu now, because it's 7 frames now instead of 8, and 4 frames more recovery time on axe kick. So in total, I'm getting 5 frames extra to punish that shit. So I'm almost certain, like, I'm going to try punishing that with Sweep now. I'm going to look at G next, yes. Oh, wait a minute, wait, why, wait, we have multiple versions of the axe kick? Why was, like, what version are they talking about here? Oh, this is probably just general changes. Okay, light axe kick, increased recovery time on hit, block by 2 frames in extended hurt box and thrown box. Okay. Fixed an issue in which the counterable box disappeared 1 frame before startup. Wow. Those are some weird glitches that you have in the character. Oh wow, we wanted Seth to be in a counter hit state right there. We just forgot to add the hurt box. EX. I mean, these changes are like very specific, right? Extend the hitbox downwards for the second attack. So that's a buff. The light one is -2 even on a crouching opponent. That's a big one then. Do people generally... Yeah, the light one is the one that people mostly want to do, right? Especially if they're close to Ryu. Okay, so if that's -2 on a crouching opponent, that move is pretty much dead. And it's actually still powerful. It's just not broken anymore. Sumo headbutt. Oh, oh wow. So if you get the sumo headbutt of... I'm still looking at Seth, right. So if you get the special move from Honda, there used to be an issue, right? Make the active attack portion critical art cancelable. So that's a buff. Increased damage of the attack, okay. Decreased frame advantage on hit or block by 8 frames. Change frame advantage on block from -12 to -4. Okay. When standing, it might be -3. That's not good enough for Ryu to punish, though. Oh, maybe it is. I'm wrong, potentially. Light Shoryuken might be an option. Okay, V-Trigger 1. Is V-Trigger 1 the one where Seth gets the teleport move thingy? Reduced V-Timer. Oh! Reduced V-Trigger exclusive special moves V-Timer cost from 1,000 to 700. Okay, so overall, he's losing time to use his V-Trigger, but the cost is reduced as well. I need to give it a try in training mode, right? Okay, V-Trigger 2, that's the ball, right? Fix an issue in which the projectile would disappear in certain situations. Okay, so that's a buff for Seth. 10 in Destruction, 10 in Extreme. Change invincibility time from 1 to 15 to 1 to 10. So it's nerfed now. Shorten active attack frames from 10 frames to 5 frames. Okay. Increased recovery time to 47. Okay, so this is a nerf to the critical art. Pretty minor change though, like you wouldn't normally notice this change a whole lot. The big one is definitely this, the light one, having additional recovery time, because now we can block it and it's going to be your turn. Okay, that's a big one. And obviously, like the general changes to the axe kick are big. That's exactly what I was looking for. Rest of the changes I don't care that much about. Grab is one big one. Obviously, stun and health are big. 925 is not a lot of health and not a lot of stun, and that was nerfed as well. So yeah, I think Seth is actually gonna be not the best character anymore after those changes. Potentially still strong, potentially, it's hard to say, but volatility went up by a big margin with these changes. So maybe I could actually see Seth being way further down the tier list now. I think that Seth's options should still be strong, but potentially not good enough for competitive play because you don't have any life and your options are just not good enough to justify these nerfs. So I think Seth is gonna remain like pretty BS when you lose to him in certain situations. I think that can still happen. He can still rob you, but he's not gonna do that as consistently anymore. I think he was like obviously the best character in the game before, and now almost certainly not. Okay, let's talk about G. G is one of the big ones that I was expecting buffs because V-Shift is gonna nerf. V-Shift is a big nerf to G. Okay, so I was expecting G to get buffed. Let's see what happened. Presidentiality level 3. Except for G impact, all special moves can now be cancelled with EX special moves. That's a buff. Oh, I remember having a discussion with people because level 2 presidentiality had better combo routes. Apparently that's not the case anymore with this, potentially. Standing hard kick. Remove the counterable box that had appeared before the second attack when the first attack misses. That's a buff. Crouching medium punch. The upper half of the hitbox no longer hits airborne opponents. I'm a little bit confused about this because I thought the universal changes had a different message here. Maybe the messages that I read for Crouching Medium Punch for Akuma and other stuff was not actually a universal change, like was not part of the normals that hit airborne opponents, apparently. Davy Braid, you're gonna see Godlike Ryu, okay, in a minute. A little bit more than a minute. A long minute. Like a really long minute. Okay, so that's a nerf, but who cares? Why would you anti-air with Crouching Medium Punch if you have Crouching Fierce, right? Okay, Crouching Hard Kick. Expanded the hurt box during recovery. Thank God. Like, some characters for some reason had sweeps that you could not punish at all. That was so powerful. And G, it's kind of funny because you rarely encountered a G that would spam sweep. Because G had so many other good options to choose from. But yeah, that was necessary. Jumping Medium Punch. Increased knockback time on a mid-air attack. Okay. Is that a buff? I think that's a buff. Wild President. What is Wild President? I don't know what Wild President is. Expand the hurt box during recovery. Extend the size of the box that triggers the opponent's block forward. So that's definitely a nerf. The first one is a nerf. Oh, it's the forward heart punch. Oh, wow. So they extend the hurt box during recovery, which means you could potentially whiff punish it similarly to what you can do against Zangief, maybe? Okay, but here's the thing. They also made the collision blocks bigger so that it's actually not the collision box, it's the proximity box. That's the right terminology. It's the proximity box. I got that wrong the other time. So the proximity box, so it's harder to whiff punish. They made it easier to whiff punish if you stand correctly, but they also make it harder to bait it out. Okay, and they also increase pushback on block. That's a buff. Okay, so that's a buff overall. Okay, G Burst level 1. What is G Burst? Expanded the hurt box during recovery. That's a nerf. Reduced chip damage from 10 to 8. What is G Burst? Fireball. Okay. Okay. So that's a nerf. Okay. What is... Oh, light G Burst level 1. Entire move lengthened. Okay, so it's harder. It's less safe. On hit, it's -6 on hit. And on block, it's -11. God damn it. Okay, so, I gotta consider a couple of things when it comes to that. Level 2, expanded the hurt box. Right. So every fireball got nerfed, essentially. Right. Okay, V-Trigger G Burst. Reduced chip damage. EX G Spin Kick. Extended the hitbox forward for the second attack. That's a buff. EX G Impact. What is G Impact? Increased stun damage and so that's a buff. It's kind of funny. I have no clue what the move names are for like the new characters. Command Grab. Wait, Command Grab got buffed? Wait, what? I should like by the way, every character has like an essay written for them, right? I didn't really wanna read out the essay for every character. It's just gonna take too long, right? But I'm assuming somewhere in this essay, they're gonna be saying, G is known for having a very weak command throw. So in order to make sure people feel a little bit more threatened by it, we buffed it significantly. Something like that has to be in that, right? We felt like having to land 2 command throws was a bit too optimistic, so we made it so that G only needs to land 1 command throw to kill you. Fair. In order to allow fair and honest footsies for G, we made it so command throw kills on the spot. Maybe they nerfed the follow-up. No, but for real, guys, this is actually in line with what I expected. This is in line with what I expected so far, because here's the thing. G is going to be completely useless if V-Shift makes it so that you get out of the mix-ups. The whole point, the whole reason why G is such a powerful character is because he had forced gamble situations where a wrong gamble would kill you. And if he doesn't get that anymore because of V-Shift, you have to consider that. Okay, G barrier. Grounded version. Is that the V skill? Is that V skill 1? Right? That's V skill. Delayed projectile absorption from 9 frames to 13. Oh wow! So Ryu can actually throw fireballs now against G. Oh, look at that! They actually fixed this nonsense. That's a big nerf. That's actually a big nerf. So the duration is significantly shortened, and it takes longer to start, which means if you stand at the right range with Ryu and you throw a heavy fireball, G will not be able to absorb the on reaction. No, it doesn't change it. Wait, what? Am I misunderstanding this change? You need to react 4 frames quicker now. That's a long time. I'm not being stupid, right? It's harder. Obviously, it's possible still. I'm not saying it's not possible anymore. No, Dragon Boy, you're wrong. There is a range where he will not be able to react. Like, where that range is going to be dependent on your own reaction time, but I'm 100% correct on this. If you stand close enough to G, he will not be able to V-skill anymore. And that's big. If it becomes harder, this is a big deal. Obviously, it's still possible. I think I'm too pro of a G. Did you, Dragon Boy, did you know like your message was flagged by Twitch? Your message was actually flagged by Twitch because of because you said pro off a G. Because Capcom, like Twitch thought you tried to say FAG. That's amazing how this message got flagged. Anyways. It's kind of funny. No, super noob. Like, take a look at his message again. Take a look at his message again. His message is too pro off. Okay. Pay attention to the last character of that word. And then he said AG. FAG. Oh man, that's kind of funny. Anyways. Yeah, this time it didn't trigger that line. Twitch censoring is so bad. It's an automated system and it's trying to detect when you're saying nonsense. And honestly, that's like, those are good eyes of Twitch. I didn't even see there was a slur in there. I had to use my brain to see it. Anyways, oh wow, Soul Cube, your message was actually censored, yeah. The German word weniger gets censored. Why? So weniger in, oh, because it has the N-word. Oh my god! Weniger just means less in German. Wow, what? Wow, my German brain is actually not getting it. That's funny. Twitch is so dumb. Ah, whatever, guys. I don't want to spend too much time. Twitch censor ist wohl weniger gut. That message actually got censored, yeah. Don't worry, Jimmy. Just use Ryu default color too, and you'll be fine in Twitter. Anyways, right. So let's just move on. This is just absurd. Let's just move on, okay? So the V skill change is a big nerf. Ryu can actually throw fireballs at G now without giving him a free V gauge. It's gonna be something that G has to think about. V trigger, maximum president. Adjusted V timer in line with presidentiality level when V trigger is activated. Oh wait, has that always been the case? Wait, is that a buff? That's a buff, right? What was the the timer for V trigger before? Has this always been the case? What was the timer before? I have no clue what the timer was before. Oh, trigger was always 3,000. And now it's potentially 500. Okay. So it's potentially a buff though. But here's the thing, the buff doesn't matter because if you're level 3 and you pop V-Trigger, you're kind of already winning, right? If you're level 1, like in most instances when you need the comeback the most, you're going to be in level 1, so it's mostly a nerf. By the way, Hassan, just so you know, the point of Donkey Kick now is it deals the most damage and it has the best EX gauge building capabilities. That's the reason why you would use Donkey Kick over Tatsu. In most cases, you won't care about that though. Okay, V-timer cost increased from 300 to 500. Bam! Get wrecked! Now that's a nerf. Now that's a nerf. So here's the thing. I think like G is kind of interesting so far. Okay, V trigger 2 G explosion. This was not used, right? So let's see. Added camera animation for when the second attack lands. Right, that does not matter. Increased damage from 100 to 120 when the second attack lands after the first hit. Okay, some buffs were really need to happen here. Extend the second attack's hitbox upwards when it lands after the first attack. Reduced knockback height when the first attack hits in the air. These are some minor adjustments for V-Trigger 2, but maybe V-Trigger 2 is now viable because V-Trigger 1 is a lot worse. The nerfs won't matter, he's still broken. I'm not so sure about that. Like, the nerfs are pretty significant, to be honest. There are some significant buffs to him, though. His ground game is a lot stronger. His presidentiality is more scary now. So, like, he's less dependent on V-Trigger now. But overall, definitely weaker. Habe ich Karen schon gezeigt? Nein, habe ich noch nicht. Sollte ich wohl gleich machen. That's interesting. It's a mixed bag. As I said, I expected G to get buffed. Even though he's a strong character, the V shift is gonna make him weaker. At least that's what I'm expecting. So it's interesting to see some really significant nerfs on top of some buffs. Jackson's is 1% right, by the way. I think the new camera zoom effect is really annoying. It's distracting. It's pretty distracting. Anyways, yeah, G. We'll see where he's gonna land after this patch. Hard to call where G is supposed to be after reading the patch notes. I think Super Noob might be right. He might not be going anywhere. Bison is fast. Let's take a look at Bison. Let's take a look at Bison, then Karen, and then the rest, okay? Okay, Bison. Used to be a strong character. Let's see what happened. Standing hard kick. Increased recovery time on whiff. 13 to 18 frames. What was Bison's hard kick? I can't remember the animation. Oh, the crush counter knee. Oh, okay. So you can actually whiff punish it now. Ah, it's a minor change though. Like, normally you won't see this one whiffed. Normally you won't see this one whiff, so whatever. Crouching medium punch. Okay, so this is another projectile invincible nonsense to make it more consistent with certain interactions. Crouching medium kick. Change frame advantage on hit from -1 to 0. So that's a buff. Crouching hard kick. Sweep. Extended the hurt box during recovery, so you can more easily punish it. Change recovery time from 18 to 23 frames. I think that's the same. No, actually that's a nerf. Okay, so sweep got nerfed. I'm not quite sure if this is like what the properties are. If you block it, does that mean it's -23? If it's -23, then I can solo plexus that. Gotta look that up. Anyways, EX head press. Change the hurt box's invincibility between frames 3 and 7 from strikes and projectiles to just projectiles. Okay, so you can actually hit it now. Interesting. Oh, wait a minute. This also means you can DP. Can you DP it now? Can you consistently DP it? Potentially, yeah. That's a big change. Kannst einfach Air-to-Air mit Jump Attack. That's interesting. We're gonna test this out. Like, this is just for the early phase, by the way. Like, I'm understanding this correctly, right? This is just a hurt box for the early phase of the attack. So, this isn't for the late frames. So basically, there was like a sweet spot when you jumped in on or not. It's not really to cover jump in situations. It's when, like, it's when you're close to Bison and you happen to press a button and you happen to do a head press at a very specific time. You could actually just go through your attack, right? And now it's a lot more difficult if you're doing a punch next to him. Also on Wake Up, yeah. On Wake Up, it's going to be more difficult for him to just do the head press. Anyways, EX head press. Added camera animation when the second attack hits. Yes, more disturbing camera animations. That's what we needed. Okay, damage decreased. EX Psycho Inferno. EX Psycho Blast. Chip damage decreased. Now this is gonna nerf the sequence from Problem X significantly. Remember the one where he locks me in the corner with the fireball and the Psycho Blast things? The Psycho Blast is the fireball. The Psycho Inferno is the other one. So that's a nerf to his guaranteed strings. Blast is the fireball, right? So that's good. That was too much. PC Games, my man, thank you so much for your continued support. Sub hype in chat, very much appreciated. Can you get out of the problem X string with V shift? No, because it's a block string. You need to be neutral. Ultimate Psycho Crusher, grounded CA. The character is now always considered to be on the ground when in non-lock situations. What is a lock situation? Expand the hurt box during recovery. Okay, so Ryu used to need a setup when you parried the Psycho Crusher. When you parried it, I had a setup. I neutral jumped and then solar plexus to get him grounded because he was airborne. Now apparently I don't need to do that anymore. Duran, thank you so much for that Prime sub. Very much appreciated, my man. Anyways, some minor changes. Like, I don't think this is gonna change Bison very much. Which means, I think this is overall a nerf to Bison. Because V-Shift is gonna hit him. Like, V-Shift is definitely gonna, hit him a little bit. And those changes are not very significant, so we'll see about that.